guys, it's Kathryn again, and I know that this is a delayed review, but you know what, guys, I had a cold, I was not feeling well, so that's why I didn't do my Monday reviews, and I feel really bad that I didn't do them, because all three of those shows were really great episodes, and I want to review them, because I don't want you guys to not hear my opinion. I'm sorry that this had to happen. It was completely out of my hands. I was not feeling well, and I tried to do them, but I could not talk. You know what I sound like on the videos yesterday? Think of me talking like that, but like not having a voice at all. That's what I sounded like. That's literally what I sounded like, and I couldn't do the videos because I didn't want to do a video where I sounded terrible. I didn't, but so we're going to talk about Switched at Birth, Season 3, Episode 3, Fountain. And I really liked this episode. I thought it was another really great episode, and what I like is that so far in the season, things have not been going very well for these characters. In this episode, though, things are starting to go better for them, and I do enjoy that. So, let's just get to the episode. So let's first talk about Daphne. Daphne in this episode, definitely very interesting. Daphne and Emmett's storyline kind of connect, so I think I actually want to talk about Emmett's storyline first, because Emmett's storyline is actually really interesting. Emmett talks to Matthew, the boy who is slashing the tires. Turns out that the reason he's slashing those tires is because he thinks they will, quote-unquote, get their school back so they can get the rebellious kids, they're not really rebellious, though, out of the school. And that way they will no longer be in the school. That is his plan, and Emmett really doesn't want to cover up this secret, but he has to. And he tells Travis about it, and Travis thinks it's actually a pretty good idea. Travis' advice on what to do, he just tells him to keep quiet for now, then it will only cause problems for Emmett, and if he tells what he knows. So Travis's advice, honestly, I don't think this is going to work. I think eventually Emmett is going to say something. Emmett is not the kind of character who just hides things. I think eventually he is going to tell somebody the truth, because that's who Emmett is. He's a very trustworthy person, and I don't think he's going to do, what Travis says, and I think he's probably going to tell people about this. I do. So, that's what was going on with Emmett in the episode. And Emmett and Bay, they kind of reconnected in this episode. Well, not Emmett and Bay, but Emmett and Daphne did. And they saw Matthew, he's cleaning out his locker after being expelled. This guy was, I didn't really know what was going to happen to him and everything. But Emmett actually, he told Emmett to keep quiet and everything, but Emmett did not really listen to him. He had to tell him the truth because of something that happened with Daphne, which I'll get to. But, he had to tell him, he told Daphne, and, he said he didn't want to get him expelled, but, he says that, that Daphne said that's what he has to do. He has to tell them about it, and he tells them, and that boy ends up actually getting expelled. So he's expelled, and, he decided he really did do the right thing. So that's what happened with Emmett in the episode. I think he did the right thing. Definitely was very proud of him for doing the right thing. And I'm sorry, guys, I haven't seen, this was like back at Monday, so I don't remember everything that happened, but I really enjoyed Emma's plot. I thought it was really strong, and I really do like where it's going. Daphne's plot, I also really liked. Daphne's plot was really interesting. Her plot was basically, Toby told her that she wants her and Sheree to connect, and that's what she tried to do. She basically tried to become BFFs with Sheree. As we saw, though, Sheree really did not want to become friends. Sheree, they got in the car, Sheree's like, I don't want to talk. I'm just going to sit here. I didn't plan on talking to you. And I was like, okay, you're kind of being a bitch right now. As time goes on, though, we kind of see that Sheree is not as bad as we think, we think she is. I did find that interesting. I found that interesting that she was trying to connect with her, and it actually does end up working. It ends up working, but what ends up happening after this is that Sheree actually finds this knife in her locker, and Sheree ends up getting in trouble with the principal. But she tells Daphne the real reason she has this box cutter in her locker is because she has a job after school. She works at a retail store after school, and she uses it there. And she tells Daphne that that's the real reason why, but she can't tell them the truth because they'll get in trouble no matter what. So Daphne and her, they go to the principal's office because she does not want her to get in trouble. That's why. She does not want her to get in trouble. They go to the principal's office. You know, they talk to the principal, and the principal says that they still have a Saturday detention, but she can still play field hockey. But then Sheree accuses her of punishing him for no reason, and she says that if Daphne were there, they wouldn't have done anything. Daphne runs after Sheree. Sheree is upset, though. She shoves Daphne into a locker, and her and Sheree really are not on good terms. That's basically what how it ended with Sheree and Daphne. Although Toby did tell them that the hockey team had to forfeit their first game because of their fight. And Toby got really upset at them for this. But Sheree and Daphne are not on good terms right now. I think, I do think they're eventually going to be really good friends because we did see that they could be good friends. But in this episode, it did not really work. When John finds out about this, so then we get to the really big part of Daphne's plot. John finds out the truth about all of this. John is upset with Daphne that she got in trouble and everything. And he heard about the day's events, and he's being really douchey again. He said he's going to tell him her side of the story, and Daphne cuts him off by saying, I don't care what you have to say, throw me out of the house, I don't care. And, she just doesn't care. So, after this, though, what happens is her and John actually do reconnect. John apologizes being so hard on her and about getting in trouble in school. He explains he still has trouble figuring out how to deal with her, and they enjoy a nice game of a few hockey pucks around the driveway. And I thought that was a cute way to end it because John really has not been very supportive for these last two episodes, and it was nice to see John kind of be like, okay, I went a little too far, maybe I need to apologize to her for this, and I was happy that he did apologize to her, because I thought it was going to end there, and it didn't. By the way, ABC Family, you did a nice job with saying this was the most explosive hour, but it really was not that explosive hour, just on Daphne's behalf. Bay's plot was interesting in this episode. Bay's plot I am enjoying. So, Bay and Tank, basically, they're in the art class. They're still in the art class with Professor Darcy, that's her name, Professor Darcy. They're still in that art class. And they're going to Minneapolis with Professor Darcy because Bay offered to help the professor with some of her work, and Professor Darcy, asked her to come along with her, and Tank came as well. So Tank and her and Professor Darcy, they go over to Minneapolis, and they're there, and I liked, it was a really cute scene in the car. I thought that was cute, definitely. And at the art gallery, Professor Darcy's latest masterpiece, it's not really met well with the reaction she's hoping for. And what she's kind of shocked is that she kind of realizes maybe her place in society is not the best, really that she wanted. She thinks that maybe it's because she's really not kept up with society, so she's kind of living in the past, and she kind of starts to doubt herself, and I actually really liked her plot. She goes to find Professor Darcy. She's very upset because no one's interested in her latest art piece, and she advises Bay not to go to art school if she wants to be happy, and, at this point, she's just shouting random things to her, and then she arrives at school again, so Bay and Tank, they go over to her, and they take her home. They take her back to school, and then they arrive after school with Professor Darcy, and she apologizes for her behavior at the art gallery. She gives Bay her letter of recommendation, thanks her for the letter, but informs Professor Darcy she's decided not to submit a letter of recommendation with her application, and Professor Darcy advised her to do otherwise. And I really am liking this character. I know I said before I don't like this character, now I am liking this character. As far as Tank and Bay go, they seem to just be friends, which is fine because it looks like next week they're going to try to get Emmett and Bay back together. which I would like to happen, because I love their relationship. I think their relationship was by far the best relationship on this show, and I'm really happy they're going to get the two of them back together. And the only other thing we have to talk about is Toby then Regina. Toby's plot was Toby wanted to get his own place, and Kathryn was telling him, oh, you can move in with Renzo's friend, but Toby said no, he's going to move out, he's going to move somewhere else. And John told Kathryn she's got to let go eventually, because, you know, Kathryn's having a hard time letting go, and I did really like that, because Toby needs to move on eventually. He's an adult now, he has a wife and everything, he needs to have his own life, so he's going to move out. I don't remember where, but he's going to move out of the house, and that's what he's going to do. So I enjoyed his plot a lot. I thought it was definitely very relatable for a lot of parents, I'm sure. Regina's plot is also really interesting. Regina is starting to... That guy she met at the dumpster is actually working with her. Now, when he works with her, he is not really nice to her. He kind of says, oh, I don't like this about, you know, I don't like this. You know, she talks to the guy and everything. And he's not really nice to her. I don't remember his name, but he's not really nice to her. He kind of criticizes her work and everything. And there's only like one thing he likes. I don't remember what it is, but there's something that he likes, and that's it. And she snaps at this guy because Bay tells her you need to be passionate about this. So she snaps at this guy, and she talks to him and everything. She's talking to this guy. And it seems like he actually, you know, she shares her awful trip to Denver with a douchey contractor. She tells Bay about it. And she goes over and she actually, this guy actually says that's exactly what he wanted to hear from her. That he was sorry he was hard on her. He didn't mean to be so hard on her. And now it seems like they might actually start some type of relationship. There's a lot of sexual tension between the two of them, I will say that. And it looks like next week she might actually leave Angelo to go with this guy, which should be interesting to see. I would not have thought of it that way. But I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really good. Was it the best episode of the season? I don't know. I think it was a pretty strong episode. Let me know if you guys saw this episode. Do you think Emmett made the right choice in telling him about Matthew? I think he did, definitely. I'm glad I didn't listen to Travis. Daphne and Sheree, do you think they will become friends? Also, do you think that Kathryn is realizing things about Toby? I think Kathryn is slowly realizing that Toby is grown up. Did you like seeing Toby as a... Also, Bay was kicked off the team in this episode. She's no longer on the field hockey team because Toby snapped at her, so she was kicked off the team. Will Regina and then the contractor guy, will they start some sort of relationship? It seems like they will. And so that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry this was delayed. My next review will be for the Fosters and then Teen Wolf, and then I'll be catched up. So I'll see you guys for those. Bye.